I will now call the meeting to the WISD Board of Trustees to order. Please let the record show that all 7 trustees are in attendance. This meeting has been duly called and notice of this meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. At this time, I will ask Mr. McCutcheon to lead us in our invocation, followed by Mr. Rogers with our pledges.
Would you bow with me as we pray? Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you bestowed upon all of us. Please be with us tonight, guide us, help us to make good decisions for the district. Specifically for the remainder of this year, be with all the teachers and the staff, everybody involved at WISD. Just keep them strong and help them have a good finish to the year. Specifically tonight, we also thank you for Dr. Langley and all the many contributions he's had over the years working for the board as this is his last meeting. Be with us again as we move forward. Thank you for your guidance as always. Thank you for your son, Jesus. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, next item on our agenda will be recognitions. That be you, Ms. Blaylock?
We got 2 big announcements.
Thank you, Board. I'm getting to fill in for Miss Bridges tonight as she is out of town on a conference, and I like getting to do this part of her job. It is with great honor this evening that we have some special student groups that we will be recognizing. First of all, tonight, we're going to start off with one of my most favorite programs, Destination Imagination. We have many teams across the district, 17 of them, that worked all year long, typically October through February, working on their special projects and challenges. And we had one team that made it past all of the others and went on to state. That is Nadia and Isaac White that represented Felty Elementary. They are a brother and sister team. They were the only team out of 17 who qualified to advance to the Destination Imagination State competition that occurred on March the 23rd in Corpus Christi. Congratulations. Nadia, 5th grade, and Isaac, 3rd grade, competed as a team for the first time this year and tackled a tough improvisational challenge. Team manager and proud mom, Karina White, says the team dug deeply into their research and encouraged each other and truly worked beautifully as a team. On the day of the state DI competition, the brave Narwhals, I would love to know the background on that, received the 3rd highest improvisational score in the state. Although the team did not advance to global finals, their improvisational skills gained the attention of many judges and DI leaders who were impressed that a team of 2 could advance to the state level and do so well. We look forward to what this dynamic duo will continue to do as they pursue DI challenges in the future. I am so proud of you guys. Congratulations. And I will add that Miss White is also our assistant principal at Howard Junior High. Congratulations, Miss White.
Good job, guys.
Outstanding work.
Good job.
Mr. Aubenshine also has a special group that he will be introducing tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Blaylock. And I know my voice could actually carry in the room, but we're recording and publishing our meeting online, so I got to come up here to the microphone. But it's my distinct pleasure to honor a couple of fantastic employees at Coleman Junior High tonight. And I don't see Officer Jonathan Rager present tonight, but our Custodian, Sandra Johnson, I do believe is here tonight. She's right there. Ms. Johnson, would you come up? And we're honoring Ms. Johnson and Officer Rager for their distinguished service above and beyond the call of duty. One afternoon in March, we actually had an intruder enter our school from HEB. The perpetrator had gotten in trouble there and was escaping there, ran into our school, actually ran into the front office, snuck in, and Ms. Johnson saw him look a little strange, go into the restroom, and rather than just let it be, she stayed until she could get Officer Rager to come and wait for him to come out of the restroom, at which time they were able to stop him. We happened to have our police officer, Mickey Figueroa, our SRO, who was present on campus. Mr. Rager followed the perpetrator, the bad guy, all the way to the front doors. He was trying to leave and wouldn't let him ultimately leave. Officer Figueroa was able to ultimately take the person under custody and learned that not only had he done some bad things at HEB, but had some warrants for his arrest. And had it not been for Ms. Johnson going above and beyond, our school wouldn't have been as safe as it was having her there. And golden woman.
Trying to get out of the picture. Trying to get out of the picture. I mean, no. She's great. And she didn't have to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, board, we have been waiting on pins and needles for months, almost a year, was the last time that it was said to me, Waxahachie ISD is putting themselves on the map by implementing Capturing Kids' Hearts program into our campuses. Last year, Mark McKinney, who is a campus facilitator and is nationally known for his efforts in schools to build climate and culture and to help kids feel like they belong, came and spoke to our board after he had been at the campuses of Marvin and Clift Elementary. On that day, he came to my office and met with me, and he said, I just want you to know, I know this program pretty well, and I'm pretty confident you have 2 national showcase campuses in your future. And I looked at him and I said, don't tell me that. Like, don't get my hopes all up. Today, both Marvin Elementary and Clift Elementary were named National Showcase Campuses for Capturing Kids' Hearts. That may not quite register the depth of this honor. There were 226 schools that were researched. They had to have private campus visits in order to be considered as a candidate, but prior to that, you have to be recommended by your campus support team that's coming to you. And most definitely, they assured me that this is not a rubber stamp, that this is an honor that is only given to campuses that implement the program with diligence, with certainty and purpose, and that their students must convey that they not only understand the process, but they own it as their own. And if you get to walk into Marvin or Clift anytime soon, you will most definitely know that those students have a voice and they feel like they belong and they feel like they have a community that cares about them. And I'm so proud of the work that both Ms. Bailey's campus and Ms. Cuban's campus have put into place. I know we have members of Marvin staff, so who's here from Marvin tonight? Stand up.
Marvin.
Thank you. And then we have staff members from Clift Elementary. Who's here from Clift tonight? And And so both campuses will have big banners that go on the side of their building. We have a press release that we will be sending out. Of course, they want us to shout it from the rooftops, but the greatest honor of all is that we are now a district that we will receive those visitors as we have gone and done ourselves to explore why this program is so important. It is also in place at Northside Elementary and Howard Junior High. But Marvin and Cliff started together as partnered campuses. They started this journey together and are getting to experience this national recognition. It's something you have to reapply for every year. So they have to continue to maintain the data to prove that the program's working, and they have to continue to excel and improve. And I'm just so proud of them and that they're representing you in this way. So congratulations, campuses. And I believe Mr. Reed also has a presentation. Wow, such a great night of celebration.
Can't follow that, but I'll try. So I'm going to ask Coach Steve Howell to join me up here for a few minutes.
Twist his arm.
Anytime we get to celebrate a milestone with our coaches, it's one of my favorite things because not because it's just something that everybody reaches, but because they always do it with such humility and such class. I think our students, the players that Coach Howell coaches, they're right there along beside him, and they're as proud about the recognition that he's going to receive tonight as anyone. On March 5th, Coach Howell had his 300th career victory. And I think we've had at least one milestone victory at some point in the last 4 years. And Coach Howell is just another one to add to our list of successful head coaches here at WISD. And I worked alongside him as a football coach and now as an athletic director. He started at Waxahachie in 1990, took over the softball program, or began the softball program in 1995. Left for a little while, came back, and took the program back over again. And right now, they're about 1 win away from qualifying from post-season qualification. And who knows what they can do from there. They've had a great year so far. And I want to recognize his wife, Jay Howell, is back there. She's with the camera, I think. And then two of the biggest fans of this entire city, his mom and dad, Raymond and Martha Howell, are back there. If there's a bad call, she's going to call those umpires on it. You can get it. So, congratulations, Coach Howell.
Yay!
At this time, we'd like to call the staff up from Marvin Elementary for a picture.
Yeah, another picture, another picture. I love you. Yeah.
Come on, Marvin, that's you guys too.
Okay, all you tiny little ladies have to get there near the front. Wait, now? Yeah, now.
And then Clift Elementary, we'd love a picture with you guys too. Stayed in formation. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who is here tonight for our recognitions.
Okay, next item on our agenda is open forum. We have two individuals that have signed up to speak. The first one is Mr. Mike Langford. Would you please step forward to the microphone? State your name and address for the record, please. I'll let you know that you have 5 minutes to speak. At about the 4-minute mark, I'll give you a warning that you have 1 minute left.
Okay. My name is Mike Langford, and I live at 110 Redmond Lane, Waxahachie. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Waxahachie Youth Athletic Association. We are in our 4th year of serving the youth in the community. We offer tackle football, cheer, boys and girls basketball, and boys and girls track. The reason that we're here tonight, we heard some things and read some things online and we just weren't real clear on what the policies would be for the facility, so we came out tonight. And I was very pleased with what I heard in the first meeting. So what I'd like to see is if we could get some of that, well, not get some, if we could be considered for special consideration for facilities on campuses. Currently, there's just not any football fields in town that the city owns that we can play games on. The ISD owns them all. The league that we play in is very stiff on what we have to use in order to host a football game. There has to be a fence around the field to keep parents off. There has to be a working scoreboard. And we need to be able to charge a gate and run concessions, and those aren't things that we can do with the current facilities that the city has. I've worked pretty closely with our athletic director, and he's been great. He's been very open and honest about what the school board policy is. And so we'd just like to be able to use those facilities. Currently, we use Life High School for our home games. It's very expensive at $1,250 a Saturday, whether we play 3 games or 6. It keeps our costs very high. We'd like to lower our costs so more kids can participate. Currently, we represent just under 400 kids that participate in our activities. So really our hardships are facilities, basketball gyms, tracks, and football fields. And unfortunately, our city just doesn't have the facilities to be able to give these kids what they need to compete in those sports. We will be going to the city council, not city council, to the Parks and Rec Board on Thursday to discuss trying to get something down the road so we don't have to rely on the on the ISD as much. But that's kind of where we're at right now. The other thing that we'd like to talk about a little bit at some point is to be able to go have lunch with our kids. Currently we have some schools that let me in and do it, and some schools don't. I know what the policy is that we're not supposed to have kids eat lunch with people that aren't their parents. I did go through the background check. Like I said, some schools let us in, some schools don't. We'd like to get a consideration to do that as well. We try to build community, and part of that is just investing in those kids, not just when we're at the football field, but we like to go have lunch with them as well. I take them pizza. It's not anything that you guys don't serve on your campuses already. And so we just like to be able to do that at all campuses and not just a few of them. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, our next speaker will be Jared, is it Gullett? Please step forward and state your name and address for the record, please. And I'll inform you do have 5 minutes to speak, and I'll let you know when you get to the 4-minute mark.
Thank you. My name is Jared Gullett. I live at 204 Oldham Street, Waxahachie, Texas. I'm here this evening with my family, my wife, Kelly, and son, Oliver. We're here to let you know our interest and intent to purchase this residential lot that the Waxahachie School District currently owns. The property ID for this lot is 222536 and is located across McKenzie Avenue on the north side of Marvin Elementary. Short backstory, my wife and I thoroughly enjoy the downtown Waxahachie area and currently live at 204 Oldham Street. We often take drives downtown, University, Harbin, Marvin Avenue, and many more streets, just admiring the history and vibe this city offers. We built our home on Oldham Street in 2016 and have lived there for the past 2 wonderful years. It's the baby blue house on the right just after you pass the post office. After having our first child, we have recognized that we would like a single-story home for safety purposes as we continue to grow with our family in the Waxahachie area. On Oldham Street, we built a home that fits the feel and history of downtown Waxahachie, down to purchasing a horse head to go out in front of the home. We intend on doing the same architectural design on McKenzie Avenue, building a home with siding and attributes that you would find in the original historic downtown Waxahachie area. The parcel is shown to be a total of 0.361 acres and the frontage seems to face Brown Street. We intend to add value to the downtown area and feel as the city continues to rebuild itself to its former glory, we can also do the same. School board, if you all would consider selling us this lot, my family and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Okay, that concludes our open hearing. At this time, I'll go into recess for about 2 or 3 minutes. That way it'll give anyone time to exit the meeting that would like to, that doesn't want to stay for the rest of our meeting. So we'll be in recess till 7:25. Okay. Item number 3 on our agenda would be reports. Item A is report of continuing education training hours for trustees. So please bear with me as I have to read this as required by the state of Texas. Under State Board of Education rule, completing required continuing education each year of service is a basic obligation and expectation of any sitting board member. As board president, I'm required to announce the name of each member who has, of that member's anniversary of election or appointment to the board, has completed the required continuing education, has exceeded the required continuing education, or is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. There are 4 tiers or categories of board members' continuing education. Tier 1, local district orientation, basic legal orientation, and legal update training. Tier 2, team building training with all board members and the superintendent. Tier 3, annual continuing education. And Tier 4, evaluating student academic performance. To the extent applicable to board members under the legal requirements for the 4 tiers, I will announce a completion or deficiency as required training. For members who will still have time remaining to complete required training, I will announce those board members who have scheduled timely training and those who have not scheduled the training. I will also announce any board members' training in excess of the continuing education requirements. At this time, all trustees have exceeded the required number of hours required by the Texas Association of School Board. Dusty Autry, 24.5 hours. Clay Schoolfield, 25.75 hours. Judd McCutcheon, 23.75 hours. Dr. Joe Langley, 21.25 hours. Kim Kriegel, 32.75 hours. John Rogers, 31 hours. And Melissa Starnader, 33 hours. At this point, all 7 trustees have met or exceeded all of the required training requirements. Next item on our agenda will be data goal points.
Mr. President, as it's stated, we have, these are kind of simulation scores and comparisons, the data, and we've kind of interpreted the data. So it's only the written report unless board members have a specific question. That would be me.
Do we have any questions concerning the information provided for data goal points? Questions or comments?
And we're getting ready for our test. As you can tell, curriculum department's working really, really hard. So the teachers and the principals, we are.
Okay, seeing none, before I move into the consent agenda, we have a gentleman who showed up to our meeting just a hair late that we need to recognize tonight. Mr. Alvenshine?
Thank you, Mr. President. And I've already extolled the virtues of Jonathan Rager. So he will have the opportunity to watch online and see. But Officer Rager, thank you so very much for going above and beyond. We have him right here in the back. Please come on up. Again, not to go into the whole speech, but Officer Rager, you went above and beyond the call of duty, and you helped keep Coleman safe from a predator, helped bring that predator to justice, and we're in your debt for doing the extra duty to take care of that campus. Thank you so very much.
Okay, I want a glamour shot. Putting your mouths in today.
Okay, item 4 is our consent agenda. Trustees, at this time, we can consider items A through G in all in one motion, or individual motions, or if there's one or two items that you would like to remove, we can consider those individually. However you would like to proceed.
Jeff, would you move it, sir?
Mr. President, if there's no, go ahead, you have one? Go ahead.
I just have a question, clarification. Are there any guidelines that for out-of-state travel for groups?
For students?
Right.
Yes, that is actually why Coach Reed had presented that the administration can authorize travel up to in-state, but when it's out of state, we ask the board's approval.
Okay.
At all student trips.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. President, if none of my fellow trustees want to pull one out, I move we approve the consent agenda item A through G.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Langley and a second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, at this time, we'll go into closed session according to Texas Education Code Section 551.001 et sec. It is 7:31.
Let's see our executive director. Oh, there she is. See the lady in this sitting there behind on the second row? That's
we have in the room, but I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. Come on, Dr. Kane.
Keep going, we're good.
Very few changes.
They're not going to accept this, and I'll tell you why. Okay, but we're good. We're good, sir.
And coming from College Station, you can't raise your hand for the Texas Tech fan. Okay, it is now 8:22. We will reconvene back into open session. Next item on our agenda is item number 6, Human Resources. Will that be you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, the first item of business is approving the personnel report as recommended to you by your superintendent. And as y'all discussed in closed session, the item I want to highlight the most is the employment of our new executive director of human resources. Now, of course, that's going to take action by the board. I am ecstatic to be recommending to you, your superintendent to be recommending to you, Monica James. She has been doing this job for a number of years. She started and worked her way up in Round Rock ISD, then had the role of HR director in Manor ISD. It's a growing, large school district actually in the Austin area, and has been the HR director in College Station for a number of years. She has served the TASPA Association of School Personnel as a leader. I talked to a representative with TASB's HR services. I had to check her this morning for wings because she was absolutely described as just the godsend for what we need. So truly, it's a blessing for Waxahachie ISD. Be welcoming Monica James to come in and take over our human resources functions within the district. I'm excited to be able to recommend her to you tonight. We also have 3 other folks we're recommending for hire, along with several resignations, as you tend to receive those at this time of year. Folks that won't be returned to the district next year, but will allow us then to post positions, and so we're always thankful to get those timely resignations. One retirement, and there's one other retirement that's been struck from your report, as y'all discussed in closed session. A few change positions. And reclassification of positions. And as we move into the next item of business, there will be ultimately one recommended termination as discussed in closed session. But at this time, I ask you to approve the personnel report as presented by your superintendent.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the human resources report as discussed in closed session.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. McCutcheon, a second by Mr. Schofield. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations. Okay, item number 2.
All right, well, you still have me to present these contracts to you.
Oh, you can just hand them over. She can do this cold. You said how good she is.
We are very fortunate to have over 600 teachers, nurses, counselors, librarians, and special education specialists to be recommended for renewals of their contracts at this time. We do also have, as you discussed in closed session, the one termination that's been recommended at this time, and we ask for your approval tonight.
Okay, trustees, at this time I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional contracts as recommended by the superintendent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Starnader, second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is item number 7. Dr. Langley?
As I asked Mr. Autry if I could do this, it's kind of interesting. I got on the board 19 years ago, and they told me the first night, I was sitting where you were, Melissa, they said, it's the job of the new board member to make the motion to adjourn. And that's the only motion I made that night. So on my final meeting, I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Dr. Langley, second by Ms. Kriegel. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0.
Now you have fulfilled your role as the board member.